everything, from your mobile number to your passport to your visa number to your house, where you live, to the hairs on your head and your chin. Everything is linked. So you have a digital footprint in China.
It's delicious.
Hello friends, welcome to my channel, and hello to new friends for joining my channel. Welcome to my channel. So today what I wanted to talk about is something that has been a topic for the expat community in Beijing, in China generally, in regards to banking. So when it comes to banking in China, for us foreigners, it can be quite a struggle. So especially when it comes to linking our bank accounts to our WeChat or Alipay, you know, the whole technique savvy to pay on your phone and whatnot. So I've just got a few tips. I have mentioned as well back in my other video of China's top 15 apps to have, where I do mention the way to activate your WeChat wallet on the app once you link your bank card. Let's get into it. Yay! Okay, so the first thing we need to do is go to the bank, right? So your best banks in China are your China Merchant one, your ICIC one. Some people also say the agricultural bank is quite good as well. And you have your HSBC is here in China, and also Bank of Beijing. Bank of China, it has its highs and its lows, but I won't go into much detail. I've not had much of a problem with them, knock on wood. But I know some people have had problems with Bank of China. So the first thing you go in is to set up your bank account. So what would help is if you have a Chinese person with you that can translate for you into English, because sometimes when you go into the bank, they don't have tellers that can speak English. On occasion they do, which is fantastic, but it's finding that teller that can speak English. Sometimes it's a bit difficult. So yeah, one thing I will say is waiting in a queue in a bank in China, bring your snacks, bring your video games, bring a book, bring something to keep you entertained, because for sure you will not be waiting 10 minutes, half an hour. It could be a wait of up to at least 2 hours, probably more. I had to wait at least an hour and a half before I was seen, because the queues are really lengthy, and sometimes the process takes longer, and then sometimes there's people that are not queuing and waiting for their number. They're jumping in before their number's even called to say, hey, you know, you can see me first. I know I'm later, but I have urgency, whatever, and they will jump in front of you. So, you know, that does happen here a lot. So that's one thing. Get yourself prepared to wait for quite a long time. If you're successful with setting up your bank account, awesome. What I will recommend is keeping all of your receipts. You need to keep all of your receipts, and for example, they would look like this, blue receipts. So the reason I say that is because, anyway, in general, keep your receipts, because they will come in handy. So this one is mine, from all my details on there, from Bank of China. That's who my bank is with. And when you come to set up your WeChat wallet and your Alipay, everything is linked to your telephone number. everything is linked to what you set up and registered yourself with at the bank. So when you go to the bank, you need to take your passport, documentations to show that where you're staying in China, and also your your visa, obviously, to say that you have a permit to work in China, or as a spouse to live in China, and all that jazz. Anyway, stuff that you would normally bring with you to open up a bank account in your own country. So yeah, the thing with that is that anything you give and anything that's on your passport and your telephone number is what is registered for the time that you're in China. So if you open a bank account and then you think, oh, I'm just gonna change my number, and then want to open a WeChat wallet or an Apple Pay account, no, you have to go back to the bank and change your number with the bank before you can even set up a WeChat wallet or Alipay. Yeah, everything is linked to your telephone number. So yeah, if you decide to do that after opening an account and before you open a WeChat wallet and whatnot, you have to go back to the bank, change your number with them, remember what your old number was and all this nonsense, wait another 2 hours, bring a snack, change it, and then by the time you changed it, and then you can then register yourself on WeChat wallet. Anyway, I digress. Back to the receipts now. How your name is on this is how it should be entered when you apply for the WeChat wallet or the Alipay. How your even the order. So if your last name comes first, you have a middle name like myself, your first name, that should be the order you type in on when you register for WeChat wallet or Alipay. The next thing is, if it is in capitals, like mine is in capitals, then you write that bitch in capitals. Yeah, you make a space, capitals, and put it exactly how it is on your receipt. If you can't remember where you put your receipt, then you're gonna have to remember, or like magician's code, keep putting in what you think is the right one. I think after a few attempts, then it will obviously say computer says no, and you have to like wait a few hours for it to refresh and then try again. Also, the details that Alipay asks you for and WeChat are your name and also the PIN that you set up with the bank. So the PIN, they ask you for there's two PINs. There's the security one and the PIN for your to use at the ATM, the cash machine. So when you come to set up your Alipay, your WeChat, the PIN that they're asking for is your security one. So when you finally get past that stage and hooray, you've got through and you passed and it's successful, you set up your WeChat wallet. And yeah, if you're with a Chinese mobile company here, which obviously you would be because you're in China, that's stupid. Once you get your mobile number here, the best thing to do is to download the app for that network that you're on. If you're in Unicom, China Unicom, or China Mobile, China Unicom is much better than China Mobile, honestly. If you're on there or on this one, get the app. It's much more easier to see how much data you have and also see how many minutes you have and see how much money you have in your account. If you don't have the app, you have to send a message, and sometimes that message gets left in the cloud somewhere, and sometimes it's a lot of jibber jabber and you can't decipher how much money you've got left or how much data you've got left, and sometimes it is fairly confusing what that message is trying to tell you. Yeah, get the app basically is a good way to go. and also make sure you got money in the bank, because if you ain't got no money in the bank on your Chinese mobile SIM, then they will temporarily cut you off. If you have less than 20 kwai in your account with China Mobile, they will cut you off real quick. So make sure you have some money in your account, otherwise you're kind of screwed. Bye.